guys, it's me, and as you can see by the title, you may be a little bit confused as to why Chase Ross, who has been on hormones for 7 years, is now going on hormone blockers. So, I have had a lot of issues in the last year and a half with my hormone levels. I started testosterone almost 7 years ago, and my levels have always been a-okay. About a year and a half ago, I went to check my levels, and my T levels, and this is the scale that my doctor uses, needs to be between 10 and 30, and he prefers it to be around 19 to 21, like right kind of in the middle. That's where he likes it to be. My T levels were a 4, which is lower than cis women. He thought maybe it was the androgel that I was on was not, either my body is not absorbing it anymore, it was a bad batch, or the lab that I went to just didn't do my labs correctly. So I had to redo labs, and I had to go back, I had to go on a higher dose of androgel. And, no, not a higher dose, sorry. I had to just buy another box of androgel, and I tried that, and my T levels were still very low. I think they were at 14, getting there though. So I've been for almost a year now on a higher dose of androgel. Instead of one little packet of 5 grams, I am on 7.5 grams. So like 1 packet and a half. So that's part one. Part two is that I had a lot of issues with bleeding. So last year I bled, I think, 4 times in 2 months. And that is like super traumatic because I haven't bled at all in like a really long time. And that's not something I'd like to experience because it's very uncomfortable and not fun and very dysphoria inducing. So he put me on progesterone pills. So I have been taking progesterone since I think like April of last year. So you would think that after all of that, I would be fine. Well, not so much. Last month, I was bleeding for a week, and it was really not fun to have to deal with that because I don't want that to happen. So I decided to make an appointment with my endo, and I was able to get a sneak appointment within a month and a half, which is very rare, and I don't know how that happened. Oh, actually, it's been 2 months since I bled, sorry. So I got an appointment 2 months later, and I just came back from that appointment. So I have been talking to a lot of people about what I should do because I don't want to bleed, but I don't want a hysterectomy. And the reason why I don't want a hysterectomy are very personal to me, and I have made a video called No Histo Please about why I don't want a hysterectomy. So please, if you would like to watch that video, I'll put the link in the description, but don't pressure me into getting a hysterectomy. Trans men do not need a hysterectomy. You don't need a hysterectomy. It's always been like, oh, 2 years after hormones or 5 years after hormones, it's recommended that you get a hysto. There are literally no studies anywhere that show that trans men after 5 years are gonna die if they don't get a hysto, or things are gonna happen with their ovaries or their uterus. No, there are no studies on that. And if there are, please God, like, link me because I don't see them anywhere. The issue is that doctors didn't know what was gonna happen to your body after being on hormones for that long and having those parts, so they assumed that you might get cancer. I mean, I'm not saying they assumed, I think that that was just a myth that just people started saying. And also I think there was a lot of like, we need to sterilize trans people and we need people to not have those parts. I am going all like society on you right now, so I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna go into more of why I'm on hormone blockers now. So my doctor suggested that because he knows I don't want a hysterectomy, that I get on something that will completely suppress the ovaries from producing estrogen, because although my T levels are okay now, my T levels are now at a 17, my estrogen levels are still very high. And because I don't want a hysterectomy, they're still gonna produce estrogen. And if my T levels are too high, that's also gonna convert into estrogen, which is not good for me. So what he suggested is that I take something to completely suppress the production of estrogen from my ovaries. And I was very skeptical and scared as to what he was talking about, so I was like, wait, do you mean Lupron? Like the hormone blocker? He's like, yeah, it's Lupron, but that's not a hormone blocker. Whatever, I feel like the street name or like how everyone else talks about it, it's a hormone blocker because this is the medication that trans teens and people who are like 12 years old and transitioning go on so that they avoid puberty. It basically puts a pause button on puberty. So if you have like a little trans boy who's 12 and puberty is about to start, the best thing to do if your parents are unsure if hormones are right for you and they're scared that testosterone is, you know, probably not, like maybe you're gonna change your mind, literally just put your kid on Lupron, because Lupron is a hormone blocker. It'll block puberty. and it's a pause button, which means that when you stop Lupron, the pause button, you push play again, and then the puberty that the kid was gonna have has puberty. But usually what happens is that the kid goes on Lupron, and after, I think usually it's around like 14 to 16, that from the friends that I know who have transitioned that young, or the ones that I know now, they're on Lupron for a bit of time, and they skip puberty completely, like they don't have their puberty, and then they start hormones at like 14 to 16, and then when they start testosterone, they still stay on Lupron so that they make sure that that puberty never kicks in, which is fantastic because then you have the puberty that you were meant to have, like mentally, and you don't have the puberty that you are trying to avoid the most, because that's not fun at all, because you don't want to develop the titty and all that fun stuff, and bleed and all that stuff. God, if only I was younger when I transitioned, God. So anyways, that's why I said why me, Chase Ross, who is old and on T for 7 years, is now on a hormone blocker, because it is generally and typically used for people who are younger. Well, I am about to start Lupron because they are trying to suppress the estrogen production from my ovaries. So I am going to start that, and it's a monthly shot that I take, which you're like, LOL Chase, you and needles. I am not going to be giving myself this shot. I will be going to a nurse who will, at the clinic, who will give me this shot, because it is very, very complicated, and I'm gonna show you, because I've never seen a video of anyone showing what a Lupron shot looks like. So I'll show you, and I will get the shot done, and then I will update you in a couple of months and how I feel and stuff like that. So this is what the box looks like. I'm not going to show you the other side because it has all of my information on it, but on it it says Lupron Depot. And this is 3.75 milligrams. And I think this is cool for like the people who are younger and whose parents might like be skeptical about hormone blockers and Lupron. Like literally you're just pressing the pause button. Like this is not going to hurt your kid at all. So it has like 2 little swabs inside, like alcohol swabs. It's just so cute. So this is what Lupron looks like. It's terrifying, especially looking at that needle, which I'm really trying to avoid. So this has a powder in it right there, and then here there's liquid. So it's a two-part, which you need to connect. I don't really know how. There's like instructions, which is why I ain't fucking with this. So yeah, so these two will be mixed together, because you're not going to inject powder into you. And then after, it just injects into you. Ah! I'm not excited for this. I'm very nervous. Honestly, I really don't like injections, which is the reason why I am on androgel. But if a nurse is doing it to me and I am not looking and she does it in my arm, because it needs to be in the muscle, it's like intermuscular, then I'm fine. I think that some people do it in the butt. I don't know, I feel like maybe the arm would be better. I have no idea. By the time this video is out, I will have already got the shot, because I think I'm gonna go get it today or tomorrow at the pharmacy. At the clinic. Now, I know that this is very intimidating and scary, but honestly, if you are a little baby tran, and you are seeing this and you're like, this is what I need, I can only imagine if I was younger right now and watching a video of someone who is older and showing what Lupron looks like and showing what a hormone block, this is what you can get. I would be so happy, and I would be able to show my parents this video and be like, look, it just pauses your hormones. I will make a more in-depth video, by the way, about hormone blockers and Lupron and what it does to you if you're younger, but right now I'm just more relating it to me because I'm about to put this in my body and I'm terrified. And I'm terrified because it's a needle, not because of the thing. I'm really excited that this is gonna suppress the estrogen from my ovaries and see if that actually helps, because if I still bleed after this suppresses the estrogen from my ovaries and the production of estrogen, then I have a real problem, and I'm gonna have to probably get a hysterectomy. I don't think it's gonna get to that. I think that I'm fine. I think that my body is just like, my ovaries are just like, they're good, they're kicking it, they ain't going down. Like maybe I'm just like one of those people that's like, my ovaries were just meant to go, to keep working, even though I've been on testosterone for 7 years now. Anyways, one funny thing though is that when I got my prescription for testosterone the first time on June 16th, 2010, I went to the clinic to get the nurse to do it for me because I didn't know how to do subcutaneous injections. I didn't even know what that was. And she said that they can't give it to me because I need a prescription because testosterone is a controlled substance. And I was like, what? So I had to run back to the pharmacy, get them to copy my prescription, run back and do it. This time I'm avoiding that completely, so I asked the pharmacy right away to give me a copy of my prescription just in case. I have no idea if Lupron is a controlled substance, but I feel like it probably is, because why would you make any of this easy on any of us? So at least I have my prescription here that I can show them. I am kind of nervous though, because it is a very complicated, like, intricate needle syringe type of thing. I'm scared that they're gonna like fuck it up. I wish that I could go to like a trans nurse, like a nurse who deals with trans patients and has done Lupron shots. And I asked online for some people who could give me like people that I could go to, and so I'm gonna try to figure that out today. But anyways, that's it. I am Chase Ross, me, 26-year-old, 7 years on T, is now going on a puberty blocker, basically. I'm going on hormone blocker to see if it will stop me from bleeding and regulate my testosterone levels a little bit more and figure all of that fun stuff out. If you have any questions at all about how this feels, and anything, actually questions about hormone blockers or puberty blockers, whatever people are calling it this, I don't remember the actual name of it, it's not hormone blocker, that's like the street name, whatever. Lupron, okay? If you have any questions at all about Lupron or any of that, I will be making a video specifically addressing Lupron for teenagers or people who are about to hit puberty, and it's more gonna talk to parents about it and why it's a good idea to put your child on Lupron if you are unsure of their trans status but still want to support them, because at least this way you're completely helping them and avoid a puberty that they do not want, because there are certain things that are kind of irreversible, like growing the titty. You gotta have surgery to remove those, so it'd be great if you didn't have to. Anyways, I'm just rambling on. I'm gonna stop right now. Let me know what you think. I will let you know how I feel in the next couple of months and let you know if I still have issues with bleeding. And thanks for watching. Sorry if I was rambling on. I don't really know what I'm talking about anymore. I love you so much. Have a great day. Bye.